thank God. All right, that works. Okay. All right, we're good. Okay, recording software back. Now I can get back to fixing dynamic lighting problems. Yay! Love when everything falls apart. Love that.
Get like canon story-wise, like every evening when we go down to bed, like we light the lantern. Is there like an amount of time that you can have the lantern?
Oh yeah, the lantern just goes forever, man. That lantern goes forever. And I was gonna get you a picture of it, but I didn't find one that I liked. But yeah, no, the lantern just goes forever. It just kind of emits like a pinkish purplish light, and it just goes forever.
Okay. So that's what that pink aura is around everybody, is the lantern.
Okay.
Ah, I see.
All right. So can everybody see?
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So to kind of give you guys some perspective about where you are on the map currently, I think I already showed you, but I'll give you guys one more quick overview. Like I said, you guys are right over here, right sitting in between these two big hills. And this is where Harshnag decided you guys are going to camp out for the night. Though it is not marked on this map, this little tiny lake that you guys are sitting at, you guys could make me a history check, see if anybody knows what it's called. Maybe they would know. Maybe they would.
Theoretically good at these.
Liddy knows.
I don't know why
Ava
I have
knows.
guidance on.
Vesper
It's not
knows.
even on my sheet.
Helio is too stressed.
Yeah, weirdly enough, for me, guidance and bless both just showed up on the sheet when I clicked my class.
Huh.
So I think that's just something Roll20 decided to dole out.
They're not on my sheet though, but it's showing up on my rolls.
Oh, like it doesn't even tell you.
If you go to your character sheet and you go to settings, there should be a roll modifier in there, I think, that you could find. I can help you find it after the session.
Yeah.
But
I'm good
okay.
with nature things, what can I say?
So everybody that rolled higher than a, I think we'll make it a 12. Anybody rolled higher than a 12. So I think everybody except for Helio and Jack, you guys know where this place is. This is a small little camp known as Camp Clearwater. It's a very, very small, not mentioned on any maps, just a small little, like, pond nestled in between the two rivers, or in between the two hills here. And then, though this map is not perfect because it does not have the river leading off to this direction, there's a small stream that trickles into this pond that you could easily just wade across on this side of the river, or on this side of the pond. And it is a pretty quiet night. Nothing is, there isn't much going on in the way of, I just looked at the chat, and that gif of the person having their chair pulled away while they're sitting in midair is very powerful. But anyways, I just pulled up Discord for the first time in like a while, and I saw that, and I had to like pause because that was insane. Anyways, yeah, it's a pretty quiet night. The camp itself, or I guess what you would assume to be the camp, is this small little island over here. And you can see that there's a small little campfire that has not been used in quite some time, but there's a small pile of firewood next to it that would encourage adventurers to kind of like, you set up camp on the island, and you can sleep there. And you can also just see around the perimeter of the pond there are various small campfires and like the bits and debris like that adventurers would leave. And this is a common like resting spot for adventurers that kind of want to be a little bit more, like quiet about their adventures, but like it's a pretty common spot.
And then are we just settling down for the night?
That is the plan. And I will take the watch order if you have them while I reset up this potential encounter, assuming it happens.
And I will, after we sort of pick our spot, Ava will just choose, like, a stone in the area. And, I don't know whether we run by rules of describing how magic happens and what that looks like.
It would depend on the rule, but generally I would say yeah.
Then you can see him sort of concentrate, and I'm going to flavor text this, that you feel an energy sort of ripple up and rustle through the grass, and then at the edges of the camp, a small ring of flowers grows.
Aw.
Oh, I love it.
So light does not escape our 30-foot sphere of campfire. It cannot be seen from the outside. We have a +5 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and wisdom perception checks.
Ooh.
Wow,
It
very
stays for the
nice.
entire long rest.
Very, very nice. All right, you know
How
what?
long does it stay up for?
The entire duration of the rest. It can happen on a long or short rest, but... Oh, it also vanishes if you leave it.
Anybody or you specifically?
Does not specify. The sphere vanishes at the end of the rest or when you leave the sphere. Okay, me.
Okay.
All
It's
right.
kind of like the druid version of,
Tiny hut.
yeah.
But it gives you bonuses to stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Hey.
because I want to say the small flowers are forget-me-nots.
Oh.
Aw, I love it. That's adorable. And that fits so well with you. Oh, I love that. That's adorable. But, you know what? I'm just going to throw out the previous encounter I had planned for this and do a different one, because this one was going to happen later in the campaign. I'm just going to replace it with this one because it's a lot easier to set up. Alright. Yep, that works. Okay. So, I will take the watch order wherever it may be. Is it in the...
So you pinned it in the general chat,
Okay.
general channel. So, just for one more time for everybody, Lady Agatha is now Liddy, right? Vesper's Vesper.
It's now
Or-
Helio.
Oh, that's right. Lady Agatha's Helio. Vesper's Vesper. Yuri is
This is Libby.
Liddy. Goldenfinch is Goldenfinch. And Helio is Ava.
All right. And then the last thing
And I
I would
don't
like to
know,
know
Jack.
is, are you guys sitting on the island, or are you guys going to camp on the outside, like around the perimeter of the lake?
I mean, Helio could get us to the island fairly quickly if we needed to.
The water's not that deep. You could pretty easily wade across. If you slid down this cliff here, or like any of the cliffs around the edge, except for really this one up here, it's a pretty quick descent into the water, and you can kind of just wade across it from there.
So the water's only like waist deep.
Yeah, I would say it's about waist deep. It's enough to slow down like a human-sized attacker should like any bandits come in the night and try to rob you. Not only would you hear them coming because they'd have to wade through the water, but also, you know, it slows them down. But it's not enough to stop, like, you know, Harshnag. He could just dip his toes in and, you know, it wouldn't really bother him to be like stepping through a puddle.
I think I'm gonna vote to stay on the land, but I have no strong opinion, so...
Yeah.
The sphere, it says any light or open flames in the sphere isn't visible outside, but we are still visible from the outside, technically? Or, it says and invisible. You can touch a point. Oh, but that's the radius of the sphere. So are we still
we're just
visible
harder
from
to
the
see.
outside?
We are still
Oh,
visible,
okay.
it's just like we are completely in the dark, so it's much harder to pick us out, especially for something without dark vision.
Oh, okay, okay. So people from the outside can still see us, and we can see them. But if we have light, like the lantern that we have, they can't see
It
the.
won't draw their attention.
Like,
Okay.
presumably a fire.
Okay.
Hey, the only other thing I'm gonna need from you before you guys decide where you're gonna camp is I would like Finch to give me 1d20.
I was really hoping it was the chicken roll, or just a bonus chicken roll.
Oh,
Alright. Let's see what we got on that d20. A 4. Alright, I will say, actually, you know what? I'm gonna make that an actual check. Give me an animal handling check.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Why is this so low?
Oh,
no.
no.
Okay,
No.
everything is going fine. You just have a chicken, and the chicken kind of manages to escape a little bit and run around the island going like, rah, 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 you know, making noise. But, you know, you manage to catch Bruiser after a while, and Bruiser kind of settles down and will go to sleep next to you.
With all of us, can Harshnag fit on this island? I can't really see exactly how big it is
I can...
from where I am unless I move, so I don't know if that's okay for us to move.
Oh yeah, you guys can move around the map, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys can all fit on it. Here, this is the
Okay.
island.
I disappeared somewhere.
Oh, you disappeared?
I think you're
Uh-oh.
under someone.
No, I flew all the way down to the bottom right of the screen, off the screen, so I can't grab it.
Oh no. Ah,
No.
there you are.
There we
You're
go,
back.
there.
Hello. Alright. There you go. Now you guys are all on the island. If you guys want to stay on the island, you can. If not, just let me know.
Well, tactically speaking, I mean, it would be helpful because we can
Defensible.
see all around us, and then we've got the water.
Yeah, and the tree would add extra cover.
But there's also the idea of things that are around us are going to be above us. So if they have ranged weapons, that would be kind of bad. And then it'd be hard for us to get back up there. So there are pros and cons to both of them. Is this tree, this canopy, is it pretty dense?
It's pretty dense. It'd be difficult to see through it.
Okay.
So like any aerial-based attackers would have to kind of come down a little bit to see you guys through the tree.
What about Harshnag? Is he able to stay under the canopy? Like
Yes,
without
if he
any-
curls up into a like ball, he can get underneath it, no problem.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I think the island is pretty cool. If everyone else is okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Then the island it is.
Before we
Okie dokie.
settle down, Helio wants to like play in the water a little bit.
Liddy will join him.
Yay!
I will say, if you play in the water, you notice that it's like, not only is it extremely clear, hence how the camp gets its name, Camp Clearwater, it is also, like, when you kind of, like, take a sip of it, it tastes delicious. It almost has, like, a sweetness to it. It kind of, like, you know, if some of it gets in your mouth or something, tastes very, very sweet. Almost as though it's been, like, flavored with, like, it's like lemons and maybe, like, strawberries or bananas or something. It tastes very, very nice. And it kind of, I don't know, the water is just very calm and very nice, and it's just super fun to play around in.
Helio's gonna look at Liddy and be like, "You want to see something cool?"
Look for it.
Yeah, sure.
He will animate the water into like a person his size, kind of, and like dance with it, act like he's dancing with it.
Man, the amount of times Helio has interacted with small apparitions of about Helio's size has been, I feel like, abnormally high.
I keep thinking about the shadow like battle that he had.
Oh, I love that. That was so cute. I love that.
There's a picture somewhere. I don't know where it went though. But essentially, he was playing with shadow people while they were on the sky ship, and he won the duel match.
30 foot. I'm going to make a 30-foot sphere around our friend to make sure that I know where light can and cannot be seen.
Yeah, and I'll say since we chose the island, he probably would have made it centered straight on the tree.
Okay. Hey, pick a color, any color.
I'm going to say dark purple because it's a shadow sphere.
There you go. So that sphere, it centers on you because centering it on the tree... Actually, I could center it on the tree. Give me a second. I could totally do that. I thought that would be difficult, but then I remembered a way that would not be difficult. Can it? Yeah, okay.
gonna splash at Liddy.
She'll very gently splash back.
Idly.
I'm gonna watch them like a proud mama.
He's gonna bring up 5 feet of essentially a wave and just splash it. I don't know if he'll hit, but he's just gonna splash it out.
Just gonna stand on the sidelines of preparing prestidigitation to try.
Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, never mind. Oh, that sucks. Alright, I thought that would work. Okay, I guess I'm not as clever as Roll20 thought I could be. Alright. In the meantime, I guess you're just gonna be the center of your own circle, because, you know what? I'm not gonna judge it too much.
You have to stay in the center. You can't move.
You cannot move. You are now planted to the center. But
Rip Jack.
once all of your shenanigans are done for the night, I'm going to have all of you guys roll me some perception checks for your watches. And just do it in order of your watches. I, unfortunately, am not perfectly able to decipher who's going when, so just whenever your watch is up, just roll me a perception check.
Okay. Shady, do you know or care, like, when Jack is awake and asleep?
Yeah.
Is he gonna sleep all night?
All 10 hours?
Very likely. Well, when he's not taking notes, running down what everything that happened meticulously, in great detail.
Okay. So I'm assuming he'll be awake for, like, the first few hours and then
Probably,
sleep.
yeah.
Okay. So
All
that
right.
means Helio, Vesper, and Liddy will be awake for the first 2 hours.
Okay, give me our perception checks, gamers.
And it's a +5 to that.
Oh, that's right.
What do you see with your gamer eyes?
With the gamer eyes, I believe.
Oh,
Wow, we're gonna see some
I
stuff.
see everything.
I see nothing.
Vesper sees nothing.
That's technically a 15. It's a +5.
Alright, so is that everybody? So that I know?
Jack. Well, Jack's not. He's not going to pay attention. I assume.
Okay,
He's
alright.
gonna be writing.
And everybody else is asleep?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. Good to know. So, for the first 2 hours of the watch, I will say nothing, like, out of the ordinary happens. Like, you don't see anything. You might see the occasional ruffling, like, rustling of trees and, like, branches. You might see, like, a deer or something would peek out at you from, like, a bush or something and then scurry away into the night. Just the general kind of nature stuff. Only thing I'll say is you hear off in the distance a loud screech, a loud kind of like eagle screech coming from this direction. But it sounds very far away. However, whatever made it must have been very loud and very large, because it's a loud sound. But
Like
other
an
than that-
animal sound? Or
Yeah,
like a...
like a bald eagle
Is it
screech.
an
Like a
animal that
bell?
I recognize?
You could make me an animal handling or survival or nature check to determine if you would know what it is. Oh boy, you do know what this is. So, you're thinking about big old birds that you know about. You're thinking, like, bald eagle, no, that's not big enough. You're thinking, like, could it be... I'm trying to think of any bird bigger. I don't know, like a pelican. They don't make those noises, Big old birds, and you're going down the list of big old birds, and eventually you kind of like, you think for a minute, and then you think, and you hear it again, and then you remember legends of a massive bird that kind of like roams around the mountainside, like the mountain tops, around the north, around the Sword Coast in the north. These giant birds called Rocs, R-O-C, rock. And you remember hearing about them, and you kind of like, you think about it for a minute, but you don't know much other than that. You would kind of know, like, okay, they're these big old birds. They kind of look like birds of prey, and they just kind of search around. Like, they search for food. They eat just about anything they can find that looks big enough for them to spend time eating it. which makes things like giants and like big, large animals like bears and deer and elk. Like those are like snacks to that thing. But like it finds a hill giant kind of wandering alone out in the the highlands. That's like dinner for 3 days. That. So these things are big and not to be trifled with.
Then as that occurs to Liddy, I kind of assume she's sitting near Vesper and Helio, maybe even doing some small talk, getting to know them, finally introducing herself. Oh no.
What was that?
That sound we heard, I don't know for certain, but there's a chance it might be kind of bird called a roc. I've not seen them before, but I've heard about them, and they are not something you want to run into.
Rock.
Can I make a perception check into the canopy out of curiosity?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Bird's nest.
Bird's nest? Yeah, you can look up there. You look and you kind of, you scan for bird's nests. I would say you find a couple bird's nests up there, but none of them birds of prey. All of them kind of songbirds or, just kind of like little baby birds that would not make the sound that you heard. They would not have made that noise. I'm turning off this dumb ambiance. Give me a second. This does not fit at all.
Doesn't quite fit.
It does not fit. No, it does not.
We need those crickets.
Let's get some new ambiance going.
Are birds, like little songbirds on the island? Liddy would like to try and speak with one.
Yeah, you can totally speak with a little songbird if you give me 1 second to pull up new ambiance.
I've got that. What's it called?
Speak
Small
with
beast.
small beasts.
Yeah, speak with small beasts.
Sorry, I love the race so much.
Let me get. How's this sound? That's a good ambiance. I like that. We'll do that. That's our ambiance.
How are you making these so quickly?
Oh.
There's a site I found that just lets you add a text to meme templates, and I owe it a lot.
Perfect for our lovely game.
This is a
Just wait till
little bit
Charlie
less-
notices.
There we go.
Oh,
Ain't that pretty? Oh no. That's exactly true. I hate it. Oh. Nothing could be more true. But this ambiance fits much better. And as you beckon one of the songbirds to come and speak with you, it will flutter down, and kind of like perch atop your shoulder, and it will kind of like, chirp at you, do a little chirp at you, and kind of wait for you to say something.
So sorry. So speak with small beasts. This says you can communicate simple ideas with smaller beasts. Do I do that just by like talking normally, or do I have to I don't know how this works.
I'll let you decide how, what like form that would take. If you want to talk to it by making, a full diatribe about, hey, there's a big old bird nearby, be careful, or if you just want to say, hey, careful, big bird, I think that both would convey the same message.
Yeah, I think she'll just kind of she's lived in a forest her whole life, so she knows a lot of bird sounds, I think.
Yeah.
And able to put together what a lot of them mean.
It was
So-
just me standing there watching as you whistle back and forth, confused. That's
So
a
she's
language I
going
don't
to-
know.
Yeah, she's going to convey to this bird large bird, danger, careful, and then if she can, like, try and convey, like, if it gets close, warning or something, to, like, try and ask the bird that, like, if this big bird gets close, to either come wake her up or start whistling or something to warn the group.
Aha. So, it will, after you convey all this, it will whistle back to you, and it will hop and, chirp around, and it will, you'll get the sort of like the image that this bird is a little bit tenacious. It feels like he's a little bit territorial. He thinks he could, take down whatever big old bird's coming his way. And he gives you the bird equivalent of a salute. Like, he takes his little wing and he does it like a salute. And then he conveys that not only will he let you know if he hears this thing coming, if he sees it coming, he's going to go and do a little, like, search around a little bit and see if he can't turn anything back up and protect his nest.
I whistle careful again.
He'll look and give you, like, another, like, bird salute, and will flutter off into the distance, and will kind of, like, occasionally signal back to another bird in the nest, like, a signal that you would take to mean, like, all clear, everything's fine. And I would say that that signal returns maybe once every 30 minutes. You hear about the, like, like the chirp, chirp, chirp of, like, everything's fine, don't worry.
Bird now.
But
what have I done?
the bird will disappear into the forest. Anywho.
Liddy kind of turns back to the other two with a smile after the bird takes off.
So, how long have you been able to do this?
Do what exactly?
Interspecies communication?
Always?
Now, could you possibly teach that to someone?
I can try, I guess.
Okay. And he just kind of, like, drift away, side-eyeing, like, I got plans later.
There's a spell that lets you talk with animals too, if you want to learn that.
But, like, you can just do it, right?
Not everything. Just small forest animals, because I grew up around them. So.
Okay. He just turns away.
I don't know which fairy to be more suspicious of. Honestly, I don't know. I'm the DM and I'm having a hard time making that decision. But, does anybody else want to do anything during the first couple hours of this rest? Going once, going twice?
We were going to do the, is Finch, you're not awake, are you?
No. But I think the learning spells is part of the long rest.
Okay. He'll write down notes for you. He'll write down his notes so that you can just, like, do your thing when you're awake.
Alright. I don't have the graph pulled up, but whoever's my next people. If Vesper could announce that'd be super awesome.
If we're doing, if we're just going every 2 hours, the next 2 hours will be Helio and Vesper. And possibly Jack, but I'm assuming Jack is just doing Jack stuff.
So Helio and Vesper, perception check. Man, it's not Vesper's night, huh? Not Vesper's night.
Come on, load.
That would be
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's a much better roll. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey. So as the night progresses, you guys continue, like, so I would say that Liddy would point out to you about the sound that the bird is making, and, like, kind of indicate, like, hey, this means, like, everything's good, and then maybe, like, mimic the sound that means bad, and, like, this means bad. If things are bad, then maybe you should wake us up. Everything goes kind of smoothly. You just kind of continue to hear the occasional shrieks of this giant eagle-sounding creature, and then every once in a while you'll hear the songbird kind of chirp back like everything's good, don't worry about it. And I would say after this string of rests, the songbird will return and will perch back up in the tree and will not like fully go to sleep, but kind of like drift off a little bit and kind of like keep one eye open. All right, my next people, whoever they may be.
The next 2 hours will be just Vesper.
Vesper, give me a perception check yet again. Actually, since you did good on that one, I'll just give you this hour. Never mind.
There you go.
Vesper doesn't need your pity.
Never mind. I guess, yeah.
Nice.
Don't jinx me.
All right. So, hey, as the night progresses, you're kind of taking, you're kind of just, sleeping away. Not really sleeping, I guess. You're just kind of sitting around, patrolling the island, making sure things are all right. I will say, first of all, I'm going to give you, since you did so good, I'm going to give you a very, very big perception. I'm going to give you, 120 feet of dark vision, so you can see everything.
Yes.
Can you see everything now?
Yes. Till the very, very edge of, the top part is pretty dark, but, I can see.
Awesome. All right. Hey, so as the night progresses, you will see... let me get them set up correctly. Not you. You will see 3 manticores. These big old scary beasts look like a combination of a million different things, like alligators and lions and lizards and chickens and all kinds of weird stuff. All 3 of them look horribly injured, and they're all kind of just they all kind of perch. And are quietly kind of licking their wounds, picking at a few bits of scrap food that they have brought back with them, and they are all just kind of they don't look like they're jonesing for a fight. They're kind of just slowly just kind of stalking around. They don't seem to notice you guys though.
I'm just gonna keep watching them, see if they notice us or anything.
Nope. They even if they do notice you, actually, if you want to make an insight check to see if they do notice you and they just don't want to fight, you could do that. You think that you guys are pretty well hidden. The foliage on the island and the the fact that they're all kind of busy, they probably don't see you guys. But they're all just kind of sitting over there on the hill, like I said, licking some wounds, and whatever got to them looks like it got to them pretty good. It was a pretty nasty fight. And they are just kind of quietly... you might hear the occasional growl or roar or something as one of them tries to, steal food from another or something, but not much happens. I will say, though, that your songbird friend will, chirp, chirp, chirp real loud, when they land, and will kind of, continue, causing a little bit of a fuss until he looks down and sees that you guys are not doing anything about it, at which point he will cease his noises. But the manticores don't seem to mind as they kind of sit there, and they all, by the end of your watch, will kind of drift off to sleep, assuming that they are safe.
I will let Finch and Ava know about the 3 manticores when we switch watch, just so that they're aware.
Alright, as soon as Ava is woken up and informed about this, he'd probably also try and make an insight check. This one, I think, is to see how settled into the area they look, if they're gonna stay here for long.
Yeah, give me that perception check.
Perception or insight?
Perception, insight, survival, or... Yeah, perception, insight, or survival, I would say, would all work. Or even really animal handling, I guess, would technically work.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll that twice, so I get 13.
I would say it would not take, an expert investigator such as Jack to determine that these guys are... they're simply here to collect themselves, and then they must live further away. There's not any place around here that you would see as a great manticore nest. And should one of them, should they, sense there's danger, they can quickly take off to the sky and find their way back home. They generally have pretty big ranges where they hunt for lots of different types of food, so this must just be within the range. They probably live in the mountains. To your guys's, I think it'd be southwest, if I'm correct in the memory of the map. They probably live in the mountain range to the southwest of you guys.
Alright, and the second thing, actually, would Vesper tell Ava and Golden and Finch about the rock call?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alright then, yeah.
And about the bird that Liddy spoke to, and how they would be like keeping watch as well, and let us know if anything was like coming our way.
Alright. Then I think Ava would just sort of nudge Golden Finch, like, since there's a rock in the area looking for food, it might be them as easy prey. Maybe we should scare them further from the camp.
Would Finch know what kind of prey rocks generally go for?
What was your roll on the recollection of a rock check? Did you roll that earlier?
Probably not. Good. 13?
13 for, like, a rock check?
I think I was...
I don't think either of us made rock checks.
Both of you make rock checks if you guys try to determine what rocks do. History, animal handling, nature, or survival. I will let you do any of them. All of them yielding slightly different information, but, similar enough. All right. Hey. Finch, you would know that they tend to go for things bigger than, like, cow size, because these things are huge. Like, you look at Harshnag, you gotta, like, times Harshnag by, like, a bit. These things are massive boys, like, dragon-sized. So they tend to go, like, a cow is small to them. Like, they eat a whole cow, and that's, like, a snack. So if you saw just one manticore, you probably would be safe in assuming that they probably would not come. But you see 3, and that might worry you a little bit. Like, it could eat all 3 of these and still have room left for, I don't know, everyone else here. And I will also say with that history... Actually... Never mind.
No information here.
No information. Never mind. Don't worry.
Do you have any ideas for how to get them up and going?
The best I can do is that we want to convince them there is already a bigger predator in the area. You said earlier that they are, like, injured enough that they might just want to take off. Is that, like, very blatant? Like, they might take off even from a human?
Make me a medicine or animal handling check. All you know is they have big cut look bad. Big slices. Very, very bad. Like, not good.
How bad does that big cut look, Finch?
Can I make a medicine check?
You can make a medicine or a animal handling check to determine yourself.
Oh, both are terrible.
That's a little better. Hey, you look at it, big cut, right? Big old thing. Going straight across some of them, like some of them have like big cuts going across their bodies, other ones straight down the back, These things have been pretty badly mangled. In fact, one of them looks like it can barely fly, this one off to the far right. In fact, you're a little bit surprised with that survival check, I was going to say, Ava, that you're surprised that these 3 are still together, because generally manticores will, like, if one of them can't fly or, like, is kind of like a weak link, they'll just leave it, they'll just be like, all right, sorry, bud, like, we're out of here. You're surprised that all 3 of these guys are together. But with that medicine check, you kind of think for a second, you're like, man, you know what else has really big claws that could, really tear apart a manticore and leave it kind of mangled? Be a rock. A rock might do that. So perhaps, I would say with that medicine check, you could discern that these manticores are either being hunted by the rock, or they tried fighting the rock and were unsuccessful.
Oh no. Oh, no.
Do the wounds not look as bad as they appear?
Oh, no, they're very bad. Just, there's a very solid chance the rock is looking specifically for these guys.
They need to leave immediately.
Oh, yeah. What are you looking for? Because if you just want loud noises, I have a bagpipe. Like, if we just want to scare the shit out of them. If you want to just pretend you're a giant or something, I can cast Enlarge on you, and you just run in there.
If I leave this circle, the flowers will wilt.
Shit.
Out of character. Do I know how smart rocks are?
You made me. Where was your history check? Was this? It was the 14 survival.
Yeah.
I would say you would know that rocks are about as smart as like eagles. You know, like they can be. I would say like between your knowledge, Finch and Ava, you guys could team up and you could remember that sometimes very very powerful cloud and storm giants tame rocks to be like pets. But tame is kind of loose in the sense that, like, you can tame an eagle to, like, you know, fly and, like, pick up, like, a dead duck for you and then bring it back, you know? That kind of thing.
From what I know, the rock shouldn't be smart enough to discern the bagpipe from manticores, so that would work?
Oh, I was gonna play the bagpipe to scare the manticores into flying away.
Yes, if the rock hears the bagpipes and knows it was not the manticores, it will search for both sources of food.
Shit. I could always go alone, just run up there, shoot them a little, hope they fly away.
What do you intend to shoot them with?
Magic missile. Firebolt, ray of frost, lightning bolt. I can cast lightning bolt. That is a new one. I mean, I've been wanting to test it out. One way to find out how it works.
Any of those. Would you like help?
I mean, is it safe for you to leave the circle?
No, but depending on what you're doing, you power your actions.
I won't say no to any empowering if I'm going against those things.
Hey, hate to interrupt. Make me a perception check, both of you.
Oh no! We took too long!
Ava, yeah, so both of you guys would know. You guys hear the shrieks of this, rock, like, circling overhead. And, like, you look through the canopy in the tree and you can see this big shadow cast straight down on top of this, like, on top of your little camp. And all three manticores are, like, looking like either they're getting ready to go, like, we gotta get the hell out of here, or, like, they're deciding their fight or flight response, you can see. Like, they're kind of, like, making a 50-50 shot. Which one should they do?
Alright, then I'm going to assume it is too late, and instead of casting Guidance, I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace.
The only other thing I would like to note, before you do that, is Finch. Make me an animal handling check.
Oh!
Oh, they're fucking
no.
Bruiser. Go kill him. Or please no.
Alright, give me a second. Slow down. I have to pull up Bruiser here.
Bruiser, why have you forsaken me? Oh yeah, what are we gonna name the starfish?
That's a good question. Aha! Okay. So, Bruiser will, Bruiser hears this, and what you'll see is odd. Even by Bruiser standards, is odd. Bruiser will, you kind of, like, reach your hand over instinctively, because you know Bruiser's going to do something, like, try some shit. So you reach your hand over to Bruiser to try to, like, put him back into the bag, like, stay in. Too late. Bruiser hops out and starts making a big old noise. And starts causing a huge stink, like flapping around, causing this huge problem. And what I'll say is, While Bruiser does this, every single time Bruiser does it, a couple of feathers will shed from Bruiser, and they will be replaced with these bright blue feathers.
What the fuck? You're the nature person? What the fuck is he doing?
Okay, what the fuck is he doing?
Make me animal handling, arcana, or nature checks to determine what Bruiser's doing.
Okay,
Would this wake up everybody?
Yeah, I would say most people get woken up by this. You'd have to make a Constitution save to sleep through Bruiser's amazing noises.
Oh my gosh, he's evolving.
So you kind of like, you're looking at Bruiser, and you're looking and you're thinking, and just as you kind of like you're thinking like, what is Bruiser doing? What's going on with that little guy? What's his deal? Over yonder, atop a hill, just to the north of you guys, the Roc will perch, and it will overlook these 3 manticores who have also taken too long to make a decision. And this is what a Roc looks like.
Oh my god.
that's fun.
Oh no.
I don't
Bruiser's a baby rock.
Interesting.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. Anyways, that was planned for later. That was actually planned for much later in the campaign, but we're dropping that bomb now. Anyways. So, yes, you'll see this Roc perch atop the hill, and the moonlight kind of catches its bright blue feathers, and its like red crest, and it like in the moonlight it catches them perfectly. All 3 manticore like rear back, and they let out like a big fearsome roar, and they all start engaging in some combat. Though the Roc does not seem too fazed by them, it will glare immediately at like Harshnag and like the rest of your guys' camp. And like the second it sees Harshnag, you don't need to again be Jack to determine like, oh shit, this guy is hungry and he wants that big hunk of meat there that's named Harshnag.
So it has firmly seen us by this point.
It has definitely seen you, with its amazing perception check of 19, which was very nice.
Finch is gonna give the most "I'm disappointed in you" look ever to Bruiser, and is gonna just shoot a magic missile at the guy.
All right, hey. Give me that
Bruiser or
magic.
the Roc?
No, I don't know. No.
Give me your magic missile, and I'm gonna have us roll initiative for our combat.
I'll cast that to 4th level.
And are you gonna cast it on the manticores or on the Roc?
The Roc. That guy's coming for us. Fuck that.
Dwayne the Roc Johnson.
Hey.
I had to make the joke eventually.
What is that?
Why isn't my turn order coming up? There it is. Alright. Cool beans. Alright, so that is a total of... Holy mother of Christ, that's a lot of magic.
I casted it at 4th level.
Alright, let me get a calculator out here, because I need to do math.
7, 12, 14, 18.
18? Thank you. You're much better at math than I am. Alright. Ah, see? Our new players will now also get to experience the tradition
Wait.
of our Dumb Defender
No.
song.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 14. Yeah, wait, sorry. I was doing math now.
Okay. Perfect. Everybody
rolls initiative.
Everybody rolls initiative.
Okay. Don't forget to click your token.
Let's pull up Harshnag. Come here, you dude. Come here, you lad.
Yeah, just like... She has the bagpipes out ready to start causing problems when this thing shows up, so she just clears into that and just bolts of light go straight arching towards this guy because he's about to fuck us up.
Alright, there we go. Perfect. Alright. Harshnag, what are we rolling for initiative today, buddy? A terrible initiative roll. Nice job. Manticore,
Oh.
much better. Roc. Decent. Alright. Alright, has everybody rolled initiative?
Yes.
Yep.
Alright. let me pull up our combat music, which I said earlier. This is a fun... This is our fun tradition for people that are just joining us. I play Dung Defender pretty much every combat because Hollow Knight is an amazing game, and it has amazing music, and Dung Defender is just such an applicable combat song. Alright, so assuming everything is good to go, let's sort by descending. And let me just pull a few things up here, just make sure. Alright, hey, Ava, you're up.
Which direction do I hear the rock in?
The rock is all over... Actually, you know what? Because this map is different than how I wanted it to be, I'm going to set this to... Hey, can you guys all see now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, there you go. So now you guys can see where everything's coming from.
It's a full moon.
It's a full moon now.
Alright. Then Ava's going to walk up to the edge of the island and cast Call Lightning.
Give me that call lightning.
It has to make a dexterity saving.
Alright, it will make me a dexterity saving throw. Ooh, a nat 20, alright.
Alright, then it takes half damage. So 7.
7 damage, alright.
And I don't suppose it was stormy conditions.
No, unfortunately it is a nice clear night out. But, you will all, as you guys are kind of waking up, hearing Bruiser, like, freaking out, like, I'm a fucking big old bird and I just learned it! You know, Bruiser's freaking out, causing a huge hullabaloo. You're all waking up, and if that didn't wake you up, the, like, crackling of thunder will kind of, like, ring out throughout this whole little, like, small depression you guys are in. And it will echo off the walls, kind of causing, like, rubble to trickle down into the lake. And everybody is definitely awake now, as a big old bolt of lightning shoots down from the sky and catches the wing of this rock, dealing a substantial amount of damage. Not really.
I will also say it's everything within 5 feet of the bolt, so I don't know if it would also hit this manticore.
I'll say it will, because why not? It will make a dexterity saving throw before it does anything. Ironically, the Manticore has much better dex, and it fails, so it will take the full 14. Alright. Anything else?
Then he's just going to move 15. Yeah, then he's just going to move back where he was because he doesn't really want to be out in front.
Okie dokie. Alright. The Manticore are going to make me some checks to see if they're going to stay and fight or if they're going to get the hell away. This Manticore is going to try and run away. This Manticore is going to try and run away. And this one's going to try and stay and fight. Alright. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So, this Manticore here, with its busted wing, is going to try and run away. And it can't run very far. It's just going to run over to about here. The other one is going to take flight, and it is going to attempt to leave. But the rock is going to make an opportunity attack against it. Actually, no. This one will take a dodge action to start flying away. It will take an opportunity attack against this one, and it will peck it real good, killing it immediately. All right. So yeah, this Manticore tries to run, does not make it very far before this thing's giant hooked beak comes out and gives it one good peck on the skull. You kind of hear like the crackling of bone as it kind of pulls its like skull forward, kind of like ripping head from body, and it kind of like topples over to the ground as the rock kind of swallows the head whole and like looks back at the body like that'll be a good meal for later, but for right now, there's much more going on. This one will manage to take flight while that one's causing problems, and this one is going to stay and fight, and it's going to 1, 2, 3. Oh, it didn't do my third. Why didn't it do my third? There we go. Alright. Well, it did very well. That does not hit. That does hit. And then that will hit. Alright, so you'll see the most brave of the Manticore, which if you were to look at these Manticore before they, like, were starting to fight, you would have assumed this middle one was the most brave. It kind of seemed like it was the leader of the pack, but evidently it decided it was not going to try and fight this. This Manticore, however, looks a little bit more confident, and it hops up into the air and starts slicing and dicing at this big old rock. And though its claws catch the feathers and, like, you know, it definitely seems to, like, make some inroads into its, like, you know, flesh, the feathers on this rock are, like, they're, like, almost as strong as, like, I would say, like, chitin or something. They're very, very strong. So you kind of see it, like, desperately trying, and it does manage to get a couple good scratches in, but not enough to, like, you know, do anything major. Vesper, you're up.
Bonus action, Hex to the rock.
All
And
right.
I'm going to give it disadvantage on wisdom checks, so it'll have disadvantage on perception.
Okie dokie.
And then I'm going to...
Oh, one thing I do want noted is moving through the water will count as difficult terrain, assuming you try to move through
Right.
it. Unless, I guess, you can fly. If you're one of the flyy boys, you don't have to worry about that.
Nah, I'm gonna do a thing where I just come out from under the canopy just to get a clear shot and take 2 Eldritch Blasts at the rock and then go back into the canopy.
Give me those Eldritch Blasts. That will hit. Dealing a nice chunk of damage.
Hex damage.
Alright. That will also hit.
Ooh.
A lot of 20s tonight, man.
Do I roll 2 d6s for hexes on a
You do.
crit? Okay. There.
Heyo.
So 11, 16, 7, or 18.
I'm way ahead of you. I've been doing it on my calculator. I've got a whole calculator for this boy because he's got quite a bit of health.
And then just kind of head back into the canopy.
All right. So you'll aim these two things at it, and you'll notice that as the Manticore is attacking, you'll notice that whenever it hits the blue feathers around its neck, or the crest or its beak, it doesn't seem to do very much. But when it hits those white feathers on its little underbelly, it seems to do a little bit more. So you aim your Eldritch Blast straight at those, and the first one you get it, and it catches kind of like the intersection where like it kind of meets the like the white underbelly meets the bluer like top feathers, and it seems to do some damage. But then you fire that second one right, get a clean shot at the underbelly, clean shot, perfect. Couldn't ask for a better angle. And it seems to like recoil back a little bit. Does not look happy about that. It kind of stumbles back, and it lets out a big old squawk that kind of like shakes and echoes the whole thing. Again, if you weren't awake by now, you're definitely awake. And this rock is going to start finishing off these Manticores. It's going to start with this one, which will hit, and it will not kill it though. Hey, strong guy. And then it pecks at this one with its big old beak, knocking it out of the sky onto the ground. Or, I guess it's still on the ground. So it just kind of knocks it off this side of this cliff face, down onto the ground. It looks very wounded. It will use this opportunity to, like, fly up into the air, and it will use its talons to grab this one out of the air, killing it. No, it won't kill it. Never mind. It will grab onto this boy, dealing a fuck ton of damage. And it will make me a grapple. Let's see if it can get out of there. Nope. It does not. So we'll grab onto this manticore and we'll soar over. I'll say it will soar into the air about maybe 60 feet above you guys as it dangles this manticore down, kind of like half lifelessly as it kind of like, gets ready to drop it on top of you guys, it looks like. Jack, you've been woken up very rudely by a giant bird.
Well, alright, Jack is going to fly somewhere around there.
Alright.
And take the dodge action.
Alright, works for me. Helio, you're
Our
up.
fearless leader.
Helio, fully believing that Jack wasn't going to move, was going to fly here. So by the time he gets there, Jack's gone.
Wah, wah.
And Helio is going to cast Necrotic Bolt.
Alright,
The rock.
give me that necrotic bolt.
It is a dex save on your part.
Alright, let's see how it does. What does it have to beat?
It has to beat a 15.
It beats it.
Ah, so half damage. Yes, 8d6. So, half of 23.
Alright. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Hopefully. It's blue. There might be some resistances there.
Alright. Your necrotic bolt hits it. Again, straight, you're going like, you kind of saw what Vesper was doing with the whole underbelly strat, and you kind of like, it's soaring up in the air. It's got this manticore kind of dangling by a thread, and you try to like weave your shot around it as you fire, and you get it real good. You get a nice good strike on it, dealing a good chunk of damage. Anything else?
Let's go.
No, that's not.
Alright. Hey, guess whose turn it is? It is Liddy.
It's me. Okay. Liddy is going to. She's got her head like leaned all the way back to look up at this thing. You said it's 60 feet in the air?
60 feet in the air.
Okay. She's going to reach her hand up so that it almost looks like she's sort of reaching towards the rock. And like, it looks like she's grabbing something and pulling it down. And she is going to cast Moonbeam on the rock.
Alright. Give it to me, give it to me. Actually, it has to make a con save, right?
Yes.
What does it have to beat?
One moment. 16.
16. It will fail. It will take 13 radiant.
And anytime it starts its turn there.
Alright. Alright. So, yes, you kind of stick your hands up to the sky. You look like you're about to just pull the moon out of the sky itself. And Vesper and Helio and Spicewing and even I guess all of you would kind of feel like some palpable magic force kind of coming from you kind of feel like the weave around you kind of distort and shift a little bit as this moonbeam kind of comes down and settles right on top of this rock's head, kind of drilling it in the forehead, and it creates kind of a nice spectacle as kind of blue flames kind of light up the feathers on it a little bit. And it kind of soars around like this big blue beacon kind of soaring around in the night. And it's Finch's turn.
None of you are hurt, so my desire to cast Enlarge on Harshnag is strong, but I want to test out Lightning Bolt, which should theoretically hit both of them.
Alright, give it to me. Okie dokie, I need to make a dex save. One dex save, and that guy will automatically fail. Alright, they will both fail. Alright. you fire this lightning bolt. You kind of like rear back. It's your first time using the spell. I would say you kind of dig your shoes kind of into the kind of like sandy soil of this island a little bit, and you kind of get ready for like the overwhelming force that's going to knock you back. And sure enough, you let loose a big old bolt of lightning, which will knock this manticore out of the sky. It will fall dead straight to the ground. It will plummet, and it will land like right about here. And the rock will also take a good chunk of damage.
Elio's just off to the side giving a thumbs up.
Harshnag will sit up, and he will... He'll give... Vesper, he'll pick you up with his hand, and he'll lift you up into the air as close as he can get you to the rock, and he'll give you the help action, so when the rock swoops down, you can have an attack of opportunity when it tries to attack anybody. Alright. Ava.
The rock is not directly above us, right?
No, not directly. It's at an angle above you.
Alright, then, the storm cloud that Ava summoned earlier is still there, and again, electricity sparks and strikes the rock.
Give me that. Oh, actually, it has to make a dex save, right?
Yes.
It will fail. So give me that damage. Alright. You guys making quicker work of this rock than I thought you would.
And then Ava's gonna briefly look around for Jack. Probably doesn't realize he moved and also move over here.
Alright. This manticore, seeing when it's outnumbered and doesn't really want to like test its luck on 9 health, is going to get the hell out of here. Vesper, you're up.
Okay, so I'm in the palm of Harshnag's hand, waiting for that rock, and I'm going to take my maul and I'm gonna start to do the thing that baseball players do, and then I'm just gonna hold my action for a booming blade and then 2 hits when it gets close to me.
Alright, works for me. Speak of the devil, the rock is going to swoop down and...
First it has to make another con save because it started its turn in the moonbeam.
It will make me this con save, which it will succeed.
So it takes 3 damage.
Alright, it will swoop down. And Vesper, you can give me your 2 attacks.
Okay.
The first one with advantage, since Harshnag's giving you the help action.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Maul.
That will hit. Alright.
There's Hex. And there's Booming Blade.
Jeez.
Oh, and
Jesus,
then here's
man.
Here's my my bonus action extra attack.
That will miss,
Oh wait,
unfortunately.
The advantage was only on the first one, right?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah. Okay. And then because he got hit with the booming blade one, when he moves, he's gonna take an additional 2d8 damage.
All
if
right.
he moves 5 feet or more before. Yeah.
He's going to be moving more than 5 feet, so roll me that damage.
Okay. Okay. Another 2d.
Alright. Alright. It will swoop down to the ground, and as it's swooping, the fire is kind of blazing on it. Gives you a nice, perfect target to line your maul up. And as it swoops down, you line your maul up just right, and as it's coming, you smash it right on its beak, and it lets out a loud, kind of roaring kind of caw, as the tree around you kind of goes up in a little bit of a blue flame as well. And you'll see that songbird family we were talking to earlier will scurry all the way over to this other tree here. But it will perch down on the ground, and you try to get a second hit on it. It will deftly dodge out of the way of the first one, or at the second one, and it will focus its attention on. You know what, Vesper? You heard it pretty bad. It's gonna focus on you. Does a 32 hit?
Oh no.
Shield. No, just kidding.
Okay. It will deal 30 piercing damage as it pecks at you with its big old beak.
Oh. I should have held a healing action.
It will give you one good
It's
peck,
okay. I'm fine.
and it will do the equivalent of like drilling you into the ground, kind of like, you know, like you take a hammer with a nail and you just kind of like boom, boom, boom. It just kind of like drills you straight into the ground.
Wait. I have a question.
Yes.
Does that make me fall out of Harshnag's hand?
Yes, it will. You'll be knocked out of Harshnag's hand.
Do I take any extra damage from that, or is the 30 the 30?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna say it like that,
Hey,
Featherfall.
there's the extra 5 damage for you.
Featherfall.
you don't need to waste Featherfall. I'm okay.
I mean, yeah, but at least this way you won't be knocked prone.
Oh yeah, you would be prone.
Okay, I'll take it if you
So,
want to throw it out.
reaction, yeah, Featherfall.
Okay, reaction Featherfall. You do not take the damage. And once it has pecked you into the ground, you're kind of like sitting there on the ground. You're like, you descend to the ground kind of slowly, and it pecks you one more time to kind of like knock you over a little bit, and it will grab you with its talons. Does a 29 hit?
Yeah.
Make me a strength save.
Oh no. Big oops.
All right. It will grapple you. It will get its talon right around you, and it will give you one good slice across the face, dealing another 19 damage.
Hey.
They don't play around. They don't play around, these boys.
Yeah.
All right. Let me put the grapple icon on this boy. All right. Cool beans. And that's the Roc's turn. Mr. Spicewing, you're up.
Hey, well, it seems like this is well in hand, so,
Everything handled.
we'll take the dodge action and say, go get them, Vespa.
You're doing great.
You're doing great. All right. Helio, you're up.
Helio's gonna dive for his friend.
All right. Give me the friend diving action or dying, whatever one you said. Either one is applicable.
He has cure wounds at 4th level.
All right. Give me that cure wounds.
How many is that? Oh god. That's 4. That's 4, right?
That's I don't know.
48. Let me see. I'm sorry.
I think it's every. Are there cure wounds?
Cure.
At what level?
At 2nd level, higher, the 1d8. Okay, so it's 48 plus this spell effects. Alright, plus, I think, what's that, 2? What's his wisdom? Okay. So you will get back 23.
Jesus, that's a lot of health.
Yeah.
Not as much as you would have liked.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's all he's doing.
All right. Hey, I just want to know really quick. Are you like holding on to Vesper, or are you gonna like touch Vesper and then hands off? I just need to know.
He's going to. Well, that's all he can do is get to Vesper, so he's grabbing onto Vesper and casting. Cure.
Okay. All right. I'm going to need Liddy to make me some whatever Liddy's doing.
I'm going to use my action to move the moonbeam back on top of the rock.
All right. And I think it takes damage from that, right? Con save?
It makes another con save, yeah.
It will succeed, and it will take half
Takes
that damage.
8.
Alright.
And then she is going to scurry around the giant's legs, or through the giant's legs to this side, so she has a little more room. And she snarls at this rock,
Alright.
but it's like a lot deeper and louder than you would expect from someone of her size, as she wild shapes into a bear.
Alright, I love it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. In the
So-
interim, I will make you a bunch of wild shape tokens. You should
Right.
send me, between sessions, you should send me a list of every animal you might potentially want to use as a wild shape, and I will
Okay.
make a bunch of tokens for all of them.
Yeah.
Should I presumably I also need to do this?
Yes. If you're going to be using wild shape, I would love the list of things you're going to be wild shaping into, so that way I can set up stat blocks and tokens for all of them, and then I can make a whole separate druid section for you two that you can play around with.
Sweet. So yeah, she's gonna wild shape into a brown bear and roar in the thing's face, trying to draw it away from poor Vesper.
All right. Make me an intimidation check really quick.
Bear have intimidation.
I think you would just use your charisma, like whatever your charisma
Yeah,
score
so
is.
it's still mine. So because I keep my mental stats.
Ah, then there you go. Okay.
5. It's not very intimidating, I guess.
Okay. All right. Finch, you're up.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna just back up a little. Never hurts.
Never
action.
hurts.
Ray of Frost.
All right, give me that ray of frost.
I don't think. Yeah, no. Yeah, firebolt.
Okay, that'll hit.
13. Then
Alright.
bonus action, healing word on Vesper.
Okie dokie.
Right, the healing. Yeah.
All right.
Just a little picky, yeah. Gonna back up some more.
My friends are the best.
All right. Harshnag is going to... Harshnag's going to try and counter-grapple the rock. Let's do that for me. Harshnag. And the rock will win. Alright, so Harshnag will attempt to grab onto the legs of the rock, trying to, keep it to the ground so you guys can finish it off. Because it's not looking great. Between being on fire and having, a shattered beak and everything. It's not looking like it's doing very great. And Harshnag wants to hold it to the ground so you can finish it off. And he tries and he fails. It kind of, manages to, stamp its feet and kind of, use Vesper to his advantage, kind of, holding Vesper towards it, ooh, you wouldn't hurt Vesper now, would you? Kind of like that. And it will manage to escape the grapple attempt. Ava, you're up.
How injured does this rock look?
It does not look great. It's definitely not rocking or rolling currently.
Okay, and does it seem sort of like it would be a bad idea to lightning strike it this close to everyone?
I mean, there have been worse ideas.
There have, but it does seem like it
It's a
would hit
very
them.
large target.
It is a large target, yeah, I would say it would depend on how good the rock did on its I think con or dex saving throw. If the rock managed to kind of swoop out of the way last second, then maybe your friends might be caught up in the splash. But if it if it sucks, and it just eats it with its back, then your friends are gonna be fine.
All right, and how bad does Vesper look now?
Oh, I'm fine.
I was gonna
Don't
say
worry
I
about
think
me.
Peachy Keen.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then Alva's going to just sort of look at what Liddy's doing, and also transform into a brown bear.
Bear
All
bros,
right.
bear bros, bear bros.
Alva's just like, okay, bear time. She made the call. And Alva's going to try to back up her her attempt to intimidate it by adding some voice.
All right, give me a roar.
I don't have a bear stat block. Should I?
Oh, just do
Charisma?
yeah, just do
Okay,
charisma or intimidation. Hey, that was much more successful. So you kind of
That's
see
more
you're
intimidating than
you're
me.
looking at the rock, right? And the rock initially looks like it's getting ready to take off, right? It's got Vesper in one talon, and it's like you're looking at it, and you just know, like, by how birds act, you know that this bird's getting ready to take off, and like soar into the distance, and either retreat, knowing it has been beaten, or it is going to try to like swoop back around. But with that intimidation check, it looks at you, and you kind of like give it this challenge, like, you can't kill me, I'm unkillable, you say to it in bear. And it looks back at you, and in bird, it says, I'm going to literally destroy you, small man. And it will now stay and fight. It will fight to the last. Manticores are gone. Vesper, you're up.
Bonus action Misty Step on top of the rock.
Ooh. Ooh
Be
la
careful
la.
of the moonbeam.
Screw the moonbeam. I'm gonna get on top of that rock.
Okay.
I'm gonna brandish my maul. And for my action, I'm gonna say, you wanna play rough? Say hello to my little friend! And I'm gonna take a nice whack.
All right.
And I can cast Booming Blade as an action, because it's a cantrip, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
think
okay?
so. Yeah.
Even though I cast Misty Step? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. I'll say you're good on that. That's fine.
Okay. But I'll have one hit instead of two.
Works for me. Works for me.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh la la.
Dang.
All right.
Vesper's revenge.
All right, start
Yeah.
rolling damage.
So there's that. And then there's 2 hex. And then there's Booming Blade.
Holy fuck. Alright, well,
Kill
give me a
it.
second here.
And then if it moves, it gets another 4d8 damage. Because it was a crit.
Well, I don't know if it'll survive. Let me see here. I don't think it's gonna
Makes
live.
sense to me.
Alright, it survives, but it does not look good. It does not look good. I will say, like, with this good hit, right, like, Vesper gets right up on its back, and it clearly was not expecting it. In fact, like, it had its, like, beak kind of, like, poked down, like, it was getting ready to, like, really mess Vesper up. Or somebody else, maybe the bear. It was getting ready, and it kind of, like, had its head kind of perched down, like, looking at you guys, kind of, like, getting a better look at all of you with its, like, raptor eyes. And the second Vesper disappears, you see its eyes go wide, like, uh-oh, oh shit, where'd it go? And then, after hearing Vesper say that, it will kind of, like, turn its head just a tiny bit to meet it, and Vesper, you see that big red crest on its face, perfect target. You give it a nice smash in the eye, giving it basically, like, basically half of its face is no longer face. It's more hammer than face. And it will, kind of, like, topple over. And I will say it will go prone because it's fucking wild style. And before...
Well, I mean, if it moved since it toppled over, does it still get that 48 damage?
I don't think it will move in the sense that it will kind of fall over, but I don't think it'll move more than 5 feet.
Darn. But when it does...
But when it
but
does...
at the beginning of its turn, it's in the moonbeam.
Aha! Alright, well maybe it will fail. Let's see. Hey, it fails!
So it takes 2 points of radiant damage.
Alright. Hey, Finch, make me a perception check.
Oh no! What is
wait,
Bruiser doing? If any of you kill Bruiser, you're gonna have to face Finch. I'm saying this now.
So you're looking around for Bruiser. You don't see Bruiser. You're kind of looking, right? You don't see Bruiser anywhere. You're like, uh-oh, where'd that little rascal go? And in a moment of panic, you're like, oh shit, is Bruiser dead? But then, out of the corner of your eye, you see Harshnag reach down, grabs Bruiser, you know? Like, you kind of see him hold Bruiser up into the air, and Bruiser will, like, hop out of his hand and will take on a more, like, eagle-like form, similar to this rock. Isn't that a surprise? Although about chicken-sized, you know? And will swoop down and will begin pecking its head. And it will deal...
Yes.
It will deal...
Dude, if Bruiser kills the rock,
Get the kill shot.
You got this, Bruiser.
it will fly down, it will peck its head, and it will just keep pecking and pecking and pecking until the rock kind of like, it kind of like looks like it's just, you know, it gets a little sleepy and it just kind of falls over. Like, the hammer strike did it in, but Bruiser gets all the glory as it will fall unconscious onto the ground.
Hey.
And I think with that, we're going to call it a little early, gang. I think we're going to call it a little early because I think that that's a good place to end it. I think that's a good climax to end it on.
can I ask Harshnag to kick it just so that it moves and it gets the extra lightning damage, just to sizzle it off?
You totally can do that.
Sweet. Awesome. Extra 13 damage.
There you go.
And it sizzles.
Good job.
We're eating good tonight.
Amazing work. So yes, I will get with you later after the session at some point, Finch. But Bruiser is no longer the Bruiser you knew. Bruiser is a more powerful Bruiser than he once was. He will bruise anew.
He actually evolved.
He will bruise anew.
I love that. Bruise anew.
But thank you everyone for coming for our first session with a bunch of new stuff.
Hey.
I think it went surprisingly well. I mean, like, I don't know, don't want to stroke my own ego or anything. I think that went pretty well.
I enjoyed it. Yep.
Yeah,
it's
no,
fun.
that was really fun. Thank you for running.
Oh.
I went down to 11 hit points, but with my friends, I went back up to 42.
Nice.
Lucky you had Jack with you.
He did.
Very
Jack
important.
saved
That
the
was
day.
huge.
Oh,
I liked
All
the
the
part when he
glory to
dodged.
Jack.
I really liked that part.
And then he dodged again. It was
Yeah.
That was really big.
You don't
It
see
was
that very
really
often.
huge. Yeah,
Two
you don't
dodges
see two
in
dodges in a
combat.
row. Yeah. Hey, speaking of, just to kind of add to the whole Jubilee, we're all level 7 now, gang.
Hey.
We're all
Right.
level 7.
I thought. Yeah.
We are. I thought we were level 7.
Wait,
Oh,
thought we
are we
were.
level 7? All right, well then,
Yeah.
shit, never mind. I thought this
I'm
is.
only level 6.
Still level 7.
I'm
Wait,
only
then
level
whose
6.
sheet was I looking at?
I'm
What?
only level 6.
We're level.
Well, you
6.
guys are
We
level
leveled up last time.
Well, shit. Then you guys are level
Never
6.
mind.
My level 6 people, you guys are level 7 now. I thought you guys were still level 6. Dang it. All right, whatever.
Oh, we leveled up last week.
All right.
Yeah. Last week. Yeah.
All right. Good to know. See, that's why I have you guys here. Because otherwise, I would not know what I'm doing. Because in my notes here, it still says, party is level 6. After this encounter, make them level 7. So, look at me. Look at me. I'm the fool
I mean, we
now.
wouldn't say no to a level 8.
No, I can't give you guys level 8 just yet. Level 8, that's a little bit out of your reach. But, for my people that are new and I guess were misinformed, you guys are level 7 now. The rest of you, you goes don't get anything. You can leave. Be gone, beasts.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
I will be getting with some of you throughout the week with details about your characters and about special things that you have. Jack, you get a badge that's cool. Ava, you're going to get something cool that I haven't decided on yet. Liddy, you're getting something cool, again, that I haven't fully decided on yet, although I have some ideas for you. Finch, you're going to be getting a new pet, or at least an evolution of a pet, and hopefully some new art to go along with it. But we'll see about that. More coming on that as well. And the rest of you, I guess you don't get anything. Sorry. You just have to be happy that other people are getting stuff.
Hey, I got cute little figurines. I'm happy.
That much is fair. That much is fair.
And
All
I'm
right.
fine with my natural 20.
I was gonna say, you rolled, like, what, 4 20s this session? Jesus, man.
Oh,
Jeez,
dude.
Lou.
That was ridiculous.
All right,
Yeah.
I will
And it
be
was
uploading.
Perfect, like story moment too. I love that.